There are around 21,000 operational military helicopters in the world. The United States of America alone has nearly 5,500 in service, which is double what China and Russia combined have. The US military helicopter fleet is so massive, diverse, and formidable that it alone can probably conquer several militaries in days. Top US aviation firms such as Lockheed Martin and Boeing are also currently competing in the development of some quite advanced and stealthy helicopters. The results of this competition will be announced at the end of 2023. Nevertheless, we do have some quite interesting information for you about a new gunship that is most likely to be selected by the US military. But before that, we'll take on a tour of the top 5 most powerful helicopters in the US military. These planes are notoriously feared and one of the top reasons why the USA can maintain more than 850 effective military bases around the globe and respond to global emergencies on short notice. The winner of the #1 spot is the notorious Boeing AH-64 Apache, and more particularly the new variant AH-64E. It is the flagship helicopter of the US military and will continue to be produced, upgraded, and used until at least the mid-2040s. Some like to call it the workhorse of the US military, but in reality, it is a stealthy, vicious, unforgiving airborne wolf. It's officially the most numerous, proven, and widespread attack helicopter of the Western world and its allies. The Apache literally helped the US military and NATO in every major war since its introduction in 1983. Its weapon system is dubbed the Holy Trinity of Death and features laser-guided Hellfire missiles, the M230 chain gun with 1,200 rounds of 30mm ammunition, and the fearsome Hydra 70 2.75-inch rockets. All three weapons can inflict serious damage or destroy armored vehicles, including tanks. The Apache is a 2-crew, twin-engine attack helicopter with a top speed of 300 km per hour. The crew sits in tandem, one in front of the other. Both stations have full flight and weapon controls for redundancy. The current most advanced version of the Apache is the Boeing AH-64E. It's powered by two T700 GE701D engines and has a 14.63-meter diameter rotor system, a mission weight of 7 tons, and a max gross weight of 10.5 tons. And can climb up to 870 meters per minute and operate at an altitude of up to 6 kilometers. Technically, there aren't too many missions that the Apache doesn't excel in. It can also control unmanned aerial vehicles, a cognitive decision-aiding system, and self-diagnostic abilities. Since April 2020, more than 500 AH-64Es have been delivered to the US military, which is now eyeing the upcoming AH-64F, which would have greater speed via a new 3,000 horsepower turboshaft engine, retractable landing gear, stub wings to offload lift from the main rotor during cruise, a tail rotor that can articulate 90 degrees to provide forward thrust, and of course, more advanced weapons. The next top American military helicopter is the exceedingly famous and rather celebrity copter, the Black Hawk, which is officially known as Sikorsky UH-60, and it's what we like to call the workhorse of the US military. The UH-60 features 4-blade main and tail rotors and is powered by 2 General Electric T700 turboshaft engines. The main rotor is fully articulated and has elastomeric bearings on the rotor head. The tail rotor is canted and features a rigid crossbeam, which makes it easy to transport aboard the giant C-130 Hercules. It can carry 11 troops with equipment and lift 1,200 kilograms of cargo internally or 4,100 kilograms of cargo externally by sling. And just like you saw in the movies, the Black Hawk helicopter is a very capable machine that can perform a wide array of missions, including the tactical transport of troops, electronic warfare, and aeromedical evacuation. Did you know that Marine One, which is used to transport top US government officials, including the President of the United States, is a VH-60N Black Hawk? And it always comes equipped with the formidable 105mm M119 howitzer and a 7.62mm machine gun, in addition to advanced avionics and electronics for increased survivability. Its range can also be extended quite substantially because it comes equipped with stub wings at the top of the fuselage to carry fuel tanks. You're probably thinking that the Bell UH-1Y Venom or AH-1 Super Cobra is next on the list. However, the winner of the third spot is the AH-1Z Viper, which was designed to replace the Super Cobra. It was approved for full production and declared combat-ready by the US Marine Corps in 2010. The AH-1Z and the UH-1Y share many common components, which means reduced overall maintenance and parts costs. Over 84% of all the components of the two aircraft are identical. The upgraded copter features a new 4-blade composite construction rotor system, next-generation targeting system, and upgraded avionics and weapons systems as well. The Viper is about 18 meters long, has a max takeoff weight of 8.5 tons, a cruising speed of 290 kilometers per hour, a combat range of 200 kilometers, and can be armed with, among other armaments, a single 20mm M197 3-barreled rotary cannon, 2.75-inch rockets, an AIM-9 Sidewinder, and AGM-114 Hellfire air-to-surface missiles. Needless to say, it's probably the only American copter that can hunt down an Apache, since it's faster and lighter. But the Apache might shoot it down first because it features a wider and more advanced selection of weapon systems. The next copter on our list is not an attack copter, but rather a ground troops and equipment transport giant copter that can take quite a few hits and still deliver right in the middle of war zones. When it comes to military assaults and advancing forward at a fast pace to shock enemy forces and gain ground, reliance on military trucks and armored vehicles is considered secondary because they're slow and can be taken out or slowed down by landmines and kamikaze diehards. So the US Army cherishes the Boeing CH-47 Chinook, which can carry both troops and equipment quite fast deep into enemy territory. The strategy of the US military is simple: send the Apaches to do recon and take out major defenses, land special ops teams via Black Hawks, then send the Chinooks under the protection of Vipers to gain new ground fast and put the enemy forces in disarray. The Boeing CH-47 Chinook is a fast, heavy-lift tandem rotor helicopter that is among the heaviest lifting copters in the world. It possesses several means of loading various cargoes, including multiple doors across the fuselage, a wide loading ramp located at the rear of the fuselage, and a total of 3 external ventral cargo hooks to carry underslung loads. It's powered by 2 Lycoming T55 turboshaft engines, so if one engine fails, the other can drive both rotors and the beast can carry on with its mission. The CH-47F Block II is the most light and upgraded of the older versions and features upgrades such as 4,868 shaft horsepower T55 715 Honeywell engines and airframe with better integrated construction for lower maintenance requirements. The new version, which came into service in 2020, can easily carry heavier joint light tactical vehicles longer distances since it's also fuel efficient. Believe it or not, the CH-47 is planned to be in service beyond 2060, over 100 years after first entering service. Okay, it's time to reveal X, the semi-classified attack helicopter that is most likely to be selected by the US military by the end of 2023 as its new superior multi-role assault helicopter. The Sikorsky Raider X is a compound helicopter concept with 2 coaxial rotors and a single pusher propeller. Designed by the Sikorsky Aircraft Division of Lockheed Martin for the United States Army Future Attack Reconnaissance Aircraft Program. Everything about this new monster is still a secret, but we can only assume that it's designed to use a single General Electric T901 engine, which was developed under the Army's Improved Turbine Engine program as the new engine for existing and future helicopters. Performance-wise, Raider X is expected to have a maximum speed of about 500 kilometers per hour, with a service ceiling of at least 5 kilometers and weight somewhere between 6 and 7 tons. Keep in mind the best helicopters are not the ones that can fly really high, but rather the ones that can travel very fast at ultra-low altitudes, which makes them, once combined with advanced stealth technologies, undetectable. So, which of these beauties is your favorite? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.